I'm Fernando Guimaraes. I work at the Frazer Institute within the University of Queensland and TRI in Brisbane, Australia. I grew up in Brazil, in South Brazil, where I did my undergrad studies, my master's. Back then, I was passionate with the main discoveries in the history of immunology, and I wanted to follow track on this pathway. I moved then to Paris in France, where I was the first graduate from the international PhD program of the Institut Pasteur, an environment where we had like more than 120 different research laboratories, including 10 Nobel Prizes in medicine, such as Professor François Brehor-Senozzi, the discoverer of the HIV. From my PhD in immunology, I moved to Australia for my postdoctoral training, where I ended up establishing my group afterwards in immunotherapy. Today, I study specific immune cells from the circulation, such as natural killer cells, that naturally see and kill affected cells like infected or cancer cells. And we develop new immunotherapy to empower them to see and kill diseases much more efficient than what they already do. From our laboratory, we recently published 2 papers, one at the end of 2024 in Nature Communications. We solved one specific mechanism by which these natural killer cells are restricted in their function. This is caused by inflammatory molecules like TNF, also known as tumor necrosis factor, that can induce their death, and this limits how much they can cause immunity. This paper was a collaboration between multiple German institutions as well Melbourne-based institutions such as WEHI or Olivia Newton-John. A subsequent paper was published in Clinical Translational Medicine. This was a paper that I have a particular passion on to try to develop immunotherapies based on natural killer cells towards efficient anti-pediatric cancer immunotherapies. We work together with NGOs on focus on sarcoma research. This is a disease that hasn't come up with new therapeutic interventions on the last 10 to 40 years, and we hope to move forward with a new NK cell-based therapy for those children suffering from hard-to-cure sarcomas. Multiple organizations fund our research, such as NABCF, MRFF, and partners such as NGOs like the Ritchie Rainbow Foundation, the Cooper Rice Broading Foundation, the Tie-Dye Project, the Kids Cancer Projects, and Tour de Cure. Those NGOs, like the Ritchie Rainbow Foundation and the Cooper Rice Broading Foundation, they were founded by families that suffered loss of their children, Ritchie and Cooper, by diseases like pediatric sarcomas. And together we work with them on developing new therapies for potentially saving the life of other children that might suffer from those diseases in the future. This is also a strong collaboration we have with the Queensland Children's Hospital and their foundation. I was always passionate by immunology, particularly on the main discoveries of legends on this field, such as François Brehor-Senozzi, the Nobel Prize, that discovered the HIV back then, or locally, Professor Ian Frazer, by which our institute is named after him, the co-discoverer of the anti-HPV vaccine for cervical cancer, like the Gardasil. Those are living legends that have solved big problems in medicine. And immunotherapy is now an emerging field of research that has the power to make our immune system to eliminate diseases using our own body. So I'm highly passionate about trying to find and develop new immunotherapies for hard-to-cure diseases that don't have a solution as yet. I absolutely love the wildlife and the nature in Australia. I have adopted a dog during the pandemics. She is the cutest French bulldog. She was adopted from RSPCA, and she's so friendly, so docile, and improved my mental health so much that we now volunteer on the Delta Therapy Dogs Foundations to also share her joy with the patients in need of more emotional support during their recovery, such as the neuroscience patients at the PA hospital. We hike quite often, my partner, I, and my dog, and I'm also a passionate CrossFitter, in which I try to exceed the boundaries of what I can do in this sport as much as I can.